Today, we're test driving the all-new BMW X5 xDrive 50e, and we're going to do a fuel economy test to see how well it performs. As you can see right now, we have a full tank of fuel, and on this full tank, our fuel range is expected to be 572 kilometers, or 355 miles, before we run completely out of fuel. You'll also notice we have our trip meters currently on the screen, and they read 0. For this test, we will be driving the X5 purely as a hybrid. Hence you'll notice we have a depleted battery. This test is great for people who don't have frequent access to a charging station, or who are wondering how the X5 would perform on long road trips where you depend mostly on the engine for the duration of your trip. We're going to be driving this over the week and see how many kilometers we complete, and after that, we'll head to the gas station to see how much it costs to fill up, so stay tuned. We just spent the week testing the X5 and have some numbers here we'd like to share with you. As you can see, we've driven a total of 370 kilometers, or 230 miles, and have a remaining fuel range of 353 kilometers. I haven't had the air conditioning or the heating on at all, but have had the sound system on the whole time. Also worth noting is we spent about 60% of our driving in the city and 40% on the highway, just to give you an idea of how I got the numbers that I did. You'll notice we're at the fuel station, and we're going to fill it back up, and based on that, we'll do some calculations to see how well it performed. As you can see, we spent $60 to fill up 34 liters of fuel at a fuel cost of $1.78 per liter. Unlike its competitors that require 91-octane fuel, the X5 is capable of refueling with mid-grade 89-octane fuel, which is usually 15 cents per liter cheaper. So, if we were to fill this with 89-octane fuel at a fuel cost of $1.63, it would cost us $55. We will do our cost calculations using this 89-octane number. In Detroit, at an 89-octane fuel cost of $3.50 per gallon, this works out to $31.50 US for 9 gallons of fuel. As we mentioned, you would spend $55 to fill 34 liters of fuel at an 89-octane fuel cost of $1.63 per liter. Also worth noting is the X5's fuel tank capacity is 69 liters, or 18.2 gallons. First, let's calculate our distance per liter, and we'll do that by taking our distance driven and dividing it by the number of liters we filled up. So, 370 kilometers divided by 34 liters gives us 11 kilometers per liter, or 26 miles per gallon. That means every liter of fuel will give us 11 kilometers of driving, every gallon of fuel will give us 26 miles of driving, and every 9 liters of fuel will give us 100 kilometers of driving. Now, let's calculate our actual real-world driving range, and we'll do that by taking the 11 kilometers per liter and multiplying it by our fuel tank capacity of 69 liters. So, 11 kilometers per liter multiplied by 69 liters gives us 759 kilometers. That means on a full tank of fuel, you can expect 759 kilometers, or 472 miles of driving. Now, let's calculate our cost per kilometer, and we'll do that by taking the total cost of our fill-up and dividing it by the kilometers that we drove. So, $55 divided by 370 kilometers gives us 14.8 cents per kilometer. That means every kilometer costs us 14.8 cents. Now, let's calculate our cost per mile, and we'll do that by taking the total cost of our fill-up and dividing it by the miles that we drove. So, $31.50 divided by 230 miles gives us 13.6 cents per mile. That means every mile costs us 13.6 cents. Finally, let's calculate our cost of a full tank. First, let's do it for Toronto, Canada, where the fuel price is $1.63 per liter. So, $1.63 per liter, multiplied by 69 liters, gives us $112 Canadian. That means a full tank of fuel, if you were to fill up in Toronto, Canada, would cost you $112. Now let's cross the border into Detroit, USA, where the fuel price is $3.50 per gallon. So, $3.50 per gallon, multiplied by 18.2 gallons, gives us $63.70 US. That means a full tank of fuel, if you were to fill up in Detroit, USA, would cost you $63.70. Overall, the BMW xDrive 50e is one of the most fuel-efficient plug-in hybrid luxury SUVs currently on the market. Despite having a 3-liter twin-turbo 6-cylinder engine, it's nice to know that it is still able to achieve excellent fuel economy. In our electric driving test, we were able to achieve 67 kilometers of all-electric range, which is more electric driving range than competitors like the Volvo XC90 Recharge. And when it runs out of battery, the hybrid system kicks in and provides over 570 kilometers of fuel-efficient driving. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out our channel for more great fuel economy content.